The distance from Fasher to Tawila is around 60 kilometers. Now, to put that into context, that would take someone more than 15 hours to walk if they took no breaks. According to the International Organization for Migration, more than 652,000 internally displaced people are already taking refuge in Tawila. The town hosts around 7% of all internally displaced people in Sudan. And more than half of those displaced people in Tawila are under the age of 18. Well, Mary Brace is the Technical Protection Advisor for Nonviolent Peaceforce in Sudan. She joins us live from Tawila in Sudan. Good to have you with us. So talking about protection, how much protection are civilians getting who are trying to flee Fasher and get to places like Tawila as we watch these horrendous videos of civilians being executed in hospitals and on streets?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I mean, civilians in Fasher and across North Darfur are currently receiving very limited protection. The conditions are catastrophic, as we've been hearing. The conflict is ongoing and there is no guarantee of safe passage for civilians as they try to come towards Tawila. Upon arrival, the main concerns are immediate drinking water. People are arriving extremely dehydrated and malnourished. So food and medical services for wounds that they sustained as they were fleeing Fasher. Nonviolent Peaceforce believes the protection of civilians must be central to any response. And we strongly urge all diplomatic and humanitarian means to protect civilians in this context.
What are the civilians telling you about the sort of experience that they were dealing with in Fasher, those who managed to flee at least?
Yeah, I mean, so the last months have been absolutely harrowing. People talking about just the extreme fear of constant bombardment, the extremely limited food that was available, people eating cow hides because there was nothing else to eat, and extremely limited medical supply. I spoke to one man who had 5 pieces of shrapnel in his body that he'd sustained over the previous weeks that were still lodged there. We've also just been hearing extreme suffering from those who have arrived in the recent days. There were accounts of people tripping over dead bodies as they fled. We've also been seeing people, malnourished, particularly many men who are coming with wounds and broken limbs, and as I said, shrapnel. We're also seeing that people are not arriving together, suggesting, that people are being separated on the way. And we're also hearing accounts of people collapsing on the way and family members needing to leave other family members behind as they couldn't make the journey.
Well, Mary, if they make it to Tawila, are they getting the help they need, given that we've been hearing for months about how there's been an influx of people and there's been scarcity of basics in Tawila camp even before the fall of Fasher?
Yeah, so I mean, the numbers of displaced people here, it's just absolutely astounding. The camps stretch across the horizon as you arrive to the town. Humanitarian partners are doing a wonderful job at trying to provide services, but resources are very, very limited. The core things that people are needing, obviously, are clean drinking water, especially once they arrive. Many are traveling over several days because they're trying to travel under the cover of darkness, so they won't travel during the day. Food as well, massive needs, and then basic hygiene. So one of the areas where people are being located at the moment, there are only 2 latrines for thousands of people to use. And that creates significant health concerns. And then, of course, shelter. People are currently making homes out of local materials, collecting sticks and straw to make some basic shelter. In addition to this, I mean, there's just extreme levels of trauma that people have experienced, and with limited communications, people are not in touch with family members. There's just in general a lot of fear. And then in one area, half the children in the area were orphans. So.
Mary, talk to us, because I understand your organization negotiates with the RSF to get humanitarian work done. How easy is that process? Are you able to intervene, since part of your mission relates to protection, to try and establish some kind of safe zone or corridor for these people to get out, those who want to leave, from dangerous areas without having to face the threat to life?
Yeah, I mean, so our response at the moment has pivoted entirely towards emergency response. Part of that is trying to work towards negotiating safe access, both for people, for partners delivering life-saving aid, and also for civilians to arrive here in Tawila. I can't comment specifically on which groups that we are working with, but a lot of it is to do with coordination between various parties. So that is definitely one thing that we are working on at the moment. Other areas are just about helping coordination and crowd control at various centres, clinics, and things like that.
So what are your biggest challenges at this point, then? Let me put the question that way.
Yeah, I mean, the scale of needs is probably one of the core. It's very, very isolated out here. It takes days to come overland. So geographically, it is very difficult, and alternative routes are dangerous due to the ongoing fighting.
Mary, let me just jump in there, because what you said caught my attention. Why is the scale of need much greater than the assistance? Are we not seeing the mobilization of the sort of global agencies, UN agencies, to meet the needs? What is happening that is leaving people with unmet needs?
We are. It's just the needs are greater than what has arrived so far. So partners are mobilizing resources, but we call for more to be delivered here in this time.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much, Mary Brace, the Technical Protection Advisor for the Nonviolent Peaceforce in Sudan.
Thank you very much.
Well, as we mentioned, the United Nations Security Council has been meeting to discuss